Hi, this is Kevin with Naples Lawn Service, and today we're going to talk about how to add power steering fluid to your tractor and where the fill is located. Okay, so last night I was driving my tractor and I noticed my steering started going out. It was going bump, bump, bump as I turned it around, and I knew I had some air in there or something, and then it progressively got worse. And so I drove it over to my shop and started checking it out. Okay, first thing I did is pop my hood here. I got another section on another video on how to do that, but took the hood up and took off these sides, and I'm looking all around for a little power steering jug with a cap on it so I can figure out what's going on with this tractor. So I did not find any power steering fill underneath that hood anywhere. And by the way, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor. I think it's a 2021 or so, and I sent somebody to go get the owner's manual for me, and I started YouTubing videos, and in the meantime I decided, well, I'll go ahead and check my fluids. So while I was waiting on the owner's manual, I decided I'd check my oil. It's right here. By the way, this thing's got 250 hours. It just does not burn any oil at all. Okay, then I went around here and I said, well, I'm waiting on her to get back with the owner's manual. Let's go ahead and check the transmission fluid. I pulled this dipstick out, and there was nothing on this dipstick at all. I had no fluid at all on this dipstick. I'm like, well, that's weird, because this is for my transmission. So I got down here and I looked at my power steering cylinder here, and I told her to get up on the tractor, run that steering wheel back and forth, and start it up and do that. And when she did, this started spraying hydraulic fluid out like a pressure cleaner. I mean, it was just flooding this whole area. So I told her to shut it off. I put 11/16 wrench on this nut, and it tightened it up like 2 or 3 turns. I don't know how it ever was that loose, maybe from the factory a little bit. I really don't know. But anyway, I went ahead and tightened that thing up, and told her to get up there on the tractor and start it up and work that wheel back and forth, and there was no more fluid coming out. So come to find out, your transmission fluid is tied in with your power steering fluid, and that's why you do not have a power steering fluid under the hood to fill up. So I went ahead and put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, okay, I got to fill up this transmission, so I'll have power steering. So here is my cap over here, the fill cap. Okay, and I had some the John Deere High Guard hydraulic oil transmission fluid. I had a gallon of that on hand, so I went ahead and put a gallon in there and pulled out my dipstick, and it was not reading anything. I'm like, oh my gosh, let me go see what my specifications are. So my specifications and capacities are, this transmission holds 5 gallons. Okay, that's like $100 worth of fuel. I mean, $100 worth of oil. And so my family was out at the store. I said, hey, stop and pick me up another 4 gallons of this, because I put a gallon and didn't touch it. So I started at, I added another 2 gallons and still nothing on the needle, and then another gallon, and then finally it started reading on the needle. So basically that power steering leak lost about 4 gallons of power steering and transmission fluid. So essentially you could have blown your transmission because your power steering had a leak. You could have blown your transmission because you ran it with no fluid, but that was only for a few minutes. But I didn't know that. So I ended up putting about 4 gallons in here, and then it finally read full on the dipstick, and which is about right there in the X area, and cranked it up. No problem. Had full steering, transmission's good, everything's good, and lesson learned, $100 lesson learned. So if your power steering ever gets the smallest leak, you better shut that thing off and figure out where it's leaking from, and then start filling it up in the transmission. You do not want to run this tractor all over with no transmission fluid in there. So It was strange. I've never seen the transmission fluid feed the power steering in any other vehicles I've ever had, so this was new for me. But I just wanted to get this video out and help you figure it out quickly, save yourself some money, and definitely don't blow up your transmission because your power steering's got a small leak. So that's it. So that's your video for today. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want to subscribe, I'll have a lot more videos coming out.